The rational zeros test is not something necessarily that a lot of people will see from you. It's not like you get a problem and it says, tell me the rational zeros test, and then you're done. The rational zeros test is a tool that can help you find the zeros. See, in this polynomial I have here, we have a whole lot going on. And if we're supposed to find all 5 zeros, we have a lot of things to choose from. And, you can use numbers from negative infinity to infinity. You could be looking for number 2.5, 2.75, 2.33. You could be looking for all kinds of decimals, fractions, positives, negatives, whole numbers. You have all kinds of stuff that could be happening, and that's just a whole lot of numbers to pick from. So instead of doing that, what I want to do is I want to whittle it down so I just have a small group of numbers to pick from. And that's what the rational zeros test does. Now, what it does, it doesn't tell you the exact zeros, but it tells you your possible zeros. So you'll see me put a PZ down just for possible zeros. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a fraction, because on the top of the fraction, you're going to find all of the factors of your constant term. So your constant term is 1 without an x on it at all. And we're looking at numbers that go into 8. So there's always going to be the 1, and we do plus or minus because it could be the negative version also. And then we've got 2, and then we've got 4, and then we've got 8. Okay, then for the denominator, we look at our factors of our leading coefficient, meaning the number in front of your biggest exponent, and this time it's a 4. And so we look at those possibilities. We've got 1, 2, and 4. And so now for the actual numbers that could happen. See, we can look at this and say, okay, I'm going to put all the numbers from the top over 1. So I've got 1 over 1, 2 over 1, 4 over 1, 8 over 1. Now, notice I didn't put plus or minus, and I should. These are all plus or minus because you could have the positive or negative version of that. I'm just trying to save some writing here. So what that means is I really have the numbers 1, 2, 4, and 8. Those are numbers I should try in my synthetic division to see if they work, to see if I have zeros there. But that's not the only thing. I also need to put them over 2. So I've got 1 over 2, 2 over 2, 4 over 2, and 8 over 2. Okay, now, I only write down the new things. See, 1 over 2 is new. 2 over 2 is just 1. I've done that. 4 over 2 is 2. I've done that. 8 over 2 is 4. I've done that. So sometimes that works out. Things cancel. Sometimes you get just a really big list. And then I put everything over 4. So we've got 1 over, oh, sorry, I put it in the wrong spot. Okay, 1 over 4, 2 over 4, 4 over 4, and 8 over 4. Now 1 over 4 is new, so I can put that down. 2 over 4 is 1/2, I've got that. 4 over 4 is 1, I've got that. And 8 over 4 is 2, I've got that. So once again, I crossed off a few. Again, that happens sometimes or it doesn't. Now these are all my possible rational zeros. These are not the actual zeros. I want to make sure you understand that. These are just the ones that I can try. So now I could take the 1 or a negative 1. Remember, these all have negatives too. And I can put that in my synthetic division and I can see what works. If it works, then 1 is a 0. If it doesn't work, I cross it off and go to the next number. Now, notice that we call this the rational zeros test. That means it's possible you might have some irrational numbers. You might have some square roots. You might have some I in there. So these aren't necessarily going to find all 5 of them for you. What they're going to do, though, is tell you which one of these you can find without having to use the quadratic formula, things like that. So, of course, as you're doing these, you're going to want to get your answer. And let's say that gave me a 0 at the end. Then I want to whittle it down and use this instead of these to figure out my next one. So I can whittle it down and get down to all 5, because it's probably going to end up that you get down to your quadratic and you're going to have to do the quadratic formula to find it.